Hey, how's it going, YouTube? I'm back in the video, and today I'm going to talk about should teams still want Kevin Durant after his injury. I'm be getting to some reasons why I think they should not want him and why they should still want him. So, yeah, as you know, he did just tear his Achilles, and I mean, that could either be his second huge injury of the playoffs, or it could be the same injury that they just saying was a calf injury in the first place. No one really knows for sure right now. In my opinion, I think it was always an Achilles injury, and he just made it even worse when he went play. So, yeah, I'm be getting to why teams should and should not want Kevin Durant in free agency, and why some teams are probably going to stray away from giving him a huge contract, and some teams are probably going to still go all out for him. So yeah, without further ado, without rambling on too much, let's get right into this video. Alright, so for my first reason for his video is going to be that he could be damaged goods at this point. As I mean, with him tearing his Achilles, which is still one of the worst basketball injuries an NBA player can get due to how much you have to use your Achilles in an NBA game. I mean, this is literally probably the worst injury a basketball player can get. We saw it in Kobe Bryant's career and in a lot of other careers as well. And even DeMarcus Cousins has not looked the same at all since coming back from his Achilles injury. So, I mean, Achilles injuries are pretty fatal for an NBA player, and at least their career-wise. So, I mean, there is a very big chance that Kevin Durant could come back and be nowhere near himself, and now a team will have to be stuck with a Kevin Durant that's nowhere near himself and on a big contract. But, and another problem with this is going to be that Kevin Durant will be missing the entire year next year, which has already been reported. He'll be missing the entire year next year rehabbing, so teams aren't even going to be able to get the first year on his contract, which means he won't be 31 until he gets to play his next basketball game. So, I mean, that could be a very, very big deterrent for a lot of NBA teams and a lot of NBA franchises. Because, I mean, who wants a 31-year-old on a ginormous contract that might not even be the same player that he once was due to this Achilles injury? That would be a very, very big risk that a lot of NBA players are going, a lot of NBA teams are going to have to be considering when looking at him. So, I mean, an Achilles injury can definitely make you nowhere near as good as you once were. We saw it with DeMarcus Cousins. We saw it with Kobe Bryant. We saw it with many other players in the past. So, Kevin Durant could very likely be looking at the same fate in the same future that both Kobe and DeMarcus Cousins are currently are facing. So now my second reason is going to be that his loyalty could be in question. Now this has nothing to do with the injury, but it has something to do with the character and his quality and loyalty in general. As I mean, obviously you know that the Kevin Durant started his career with Oklahoma City Thunder. He played there. They went to an NBA Finals together. They made it to the Western Conference Finals where they choked the 3-1 lead to the Golden State Warriors. And immediately after choking that lead, after that season, he went to the Golden State Warriors that off season, made him a super team. He's now won 2 NBA championships with them and played in 3 of them with the Golden State Warriors. And despite being so good, he is still most likely going to be leaving them after this year, which means now teams are going to have to be looking at this dude just left 2 very, very good situations back to back. His loyalty should be in question with how good of teams he's been leaving. I mean, him and Westbrook were pretty much brothers. At least Westbrook said they were pretty much brothers, and he left Westbrook without hesitation. And now you're going to be leaving Golden State, who you've continuously called your brotherhood, and that you love these guys. You're winning finals together, you're going to championships, and you're still going to leave them. So, I mean, his loyalty at this point should be very, very in question, which could mean a lot of teams could be like, well, I mean, we can't get any better of a situation than Golden State is currently in, so what makes us think that he's going to want to stay with us long term and not be requesting trades or not being fully committed to the team like he was with OKC and Golden State? Because, I mean, there have been questions this year from Draymond Green. That was a big fight that they had, that Draymond Green was not 100% convinced that Kevin Durant was 100% committed to the team at the beginning of this year. So his character and loyalty are going to be huge questions when trying to see if you want to sign him to this free agency. So, I mean, now teams are going to have to be like, okay, well, maybe he won't even be the same player due to his Achilles injury, plus he might not be fully committed to the team. How could you 100% be able to put 100% of your focus and put all your eggs in one basket in signing Kevin Durant? And how could you trust him to stay loyal to your team? That would be very, very big questions that the teams are going to have to be looking over. But now, why should they sign Kevin Durant? Why should they still want him? Well, he could still become the old Kevin Durant that we still know. Because, I mean, even with him coming back from an injury way quicker than he should have been, in that one game in the NBA Finals, he played for 11 minutes and had 11 points and still looked like the best player on the court. So it looked like before he got injured, that injury had no effect on him. So, I mean, there's still a chance that he comes back, because just like there's no guarantee that he comes back the same player, there's also no guarantee that he doesn't come back the same player he once was, and he could still be one of the best offensive players the NBA has ever seen, as 31 is his prime years. So there's a very big chance that this Achilles injury doesn't affect him at all. Now the teams still have 3 years of prime Kevin Durant that would be able to compete for championships with him all those years that he is with the team and healthy. And now another reason why teams should still want him is because he could turn any team into a contender. If Kevin Durant comes back fully healthy, 100% his old self, there's no question that any team he goes on will be a contender. He could go on the Atlanta Hawks right now and turn them into instant title contenders and probably at least second round team. That's just how great of a player he is. But now the teams are going to have to factor in, should they risk him being damaged goods? Should they risk him being the next Kobe Bryant and him not having as good of a career as he once had? And is he going to be good enough to sign to this max contract? And is his loyalty, is he going to be committed to the team? Especially if he comes back unhealthy and isn't as good as he used to be, his loyalty and commitment are going to be way more in question. And then, but I mean, teams are, despite having all these risks and all these big questions on Kevin Durant this free agency, they also have to take in the fact that maybe he still could be great. Maybe he could still be one of the best scorers the NBA has ever seen. Maybe he could still turn our team into a contender if he comes back healthy. So teams are really going to have to be stressing all these questions in free agency, and it's going to be very interesting to see how they approach it and who goes for him big, who is more hesitant to go for him. It's going to be very interesting. But unfortunately, guys, that's going to be the first video. So comment below, do you think that he's going to still be getting max contract offers? Do you think teams are still going to want him, or do you think he's going to go in for agency? On here, all your thoughts in the comment section below. And I hope you did like the video. And if you did like the video, at any point, like button and subscribe button would mean the absolute world to me. And I hope you have a blessed day. Could have a blessed day. So you need to have a blessed day. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah, blah, blah.